Okay, we are again in the book of Genesis. We're on verse 26. We're gonna, as you read, remember the story of Abraham, his father. Remember the story of Abraham and see the similarities between Abraham's life and the life of his sons. While as you read this verse. Okay? Verse 26. Now, there was a famine in the land, beside the former famine that had occurred in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Gerar, to King Abimelech of the Philistines. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, Do not go down to Egypt. Settle in the land that I shall show you. Reside in this land as an alien, and I will be with you, and will bless you. For to you and to your descendants I will give all these land, and I will fulfill the oath that I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your offspring as numerous as the stars of heaven, and will give to your offspring all these land, and all the nations of the earth shall gain blessing for themselves through your offspring. Verse 5. Because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statute, and my law. So Isaac settled in Gerar. When the men of the place asked him about his wife, he said, She is my sister. For he was afraid to say, My wife, thinking all else the men of the place might kill me for the sake of Rebekah, because she is attractive in appearance. When Isaac has been there a long time, King Abimelech of the Philistines looked out of the window and saw him fondling his wife Rebekah. So Abimelech called for Isaac and said, So she is your wife. Why then did you say she is my sister? Isaac said to him, Because I thought I might die because of her. Abimelech said, What is this you have done to us? One of the people might easily have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us. So Abimelech warned all the people, saying, Whoever touched this man or his wife shall put to death. Verse 12. Isaac vowed. Isaac, Isaac sowed seed in that land, and in the same year reaped 100-fold. The Lord blessed him, and the man became rich. Here he prospered more and more until he became very wealthy. He had possession of flocks and herds and great household, so that the Philistine envied him. Now the Philistine has stopped up and filled with earth all the wells that his father's servant had dug in the days of his father Abraham. And Abimelech said to Isaac, Go away from us. You have become too powerful for us. Verse 17. So Isaac departed from there and camped in the valley of Gerar and settled there. Isaac dug again the wells of water that had been dug in the days of his father Abraham. For the Philistine had stopped them up after the death of Abraham, and he gave them the name that his father had given them. But then Isaac's servant dug in the valley and found there was a wellspring water. The herders of Gerar quarreled with Isaac herders, saying, The water is ours. So he called the well Isaac, because they contended with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over that one also. So he dug it, so he called it Sitnah. He moved from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he called it, Rehoboth, Rehoboth, saying, "Now the Lord has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land." Verse 23. From there he went up to Bathsheba, and that very night the Lord appeared to him and said, "I am the Lord your father Abraham. I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not be afraid, for I am with you, and will bless you, and make your offspring numerous for my servant Abraham's sake." So 25. So he built an altar there, called on the name of the Lord, and pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servant dug a well. Then Abimelech went went to him from Gerar with Ahu Ahuhath Ahuzath who's half Zaph, his advisor, and Phicol, the commander of his army. Isaac said to them, "Why have you come to me, seeing that you hate me and have sent me away from you?" They said, "We see plainly that the Lord has been with you. So we say, let there be an oath between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, so that you would do us no harm, just as we have not touched you and have done to you nothing but good, and have sent you away in peace. You are now the blessed of the Lord." So he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. In the morning they rose early and exchanged oaths, and Isaac set them set them on their way, and they departed from him in peace. That same day, Isaac's servant came and told him about the well that they had dug, and said to him, "We have found water." He called it Sheba. Therefore, the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. Now, verse 34. When Esau was 50 years old, he married Judith, daughter of Beri the Hittites, and Basemath, daughter of Elam the Hittites, and made life be- they made life bitter for Isaac and Rebekah. Now let me explain what I just read to you on 26. Is the story from verse 1 to 33. Is the story about Isaac and Abimelech. Several incidents in Isaac's life repeat similar event in the life of his father Abraham. For example, remember when examples include divine promised land and descendants. On verse 12, verse Genesis 12, verse 1 to 3, Genesis 26, verse 1 to 5, and 24, the building of an altar, Genesis 12, verse 7, 8, Genesis 13, verse 8, Genesis 26, verse 25, a, a sister-wife incident with Abimelech, Genesis 20, verse 1 to 18, and also to verse 20, Genesis 26, 6 to 11. Conflicts over the ownership of wells. Genesis 21, verse 25 to 34. Genesis 26, 17 to 25. In a covenant of peace with Abimelech. Genesis 21, verse 22 to 24. And also Genesis 26, verse 26 to 31. These are the incidents with Abimelech that were similar to what Abraham was going through with Abimelech. Okay? Also, on verse 8, we see the writers again puns on the name Isaac. The king saw Isaac, which is Yitzhak, Yityak, that's Yitshaq. That's the Jewish name for Isaac. Fonding his wife, fonding, which is Mitzahek, Mitzahek. That's Metsahek, Metsahek. That's what it is in Hebrew. You see Isaac fonding his wife, and he felt like you were saying that was your sister, now it's your wife. That's the same thing your father did. Your father did the same thing. We try to bring curse into our land, you know. He, so Abimelech had the fear of God into him. He was not playing that game. So he handled that. Now in verse 33, Sheba is a wordplay on the Hebrew word to exchange an oath. SHB on verse 31, to exchange an oath. Sheba is an alternative place named for Bathsheba, is the well of the oath. In Genesis 21, verse 31. In Genesis 21, verse 31, well of the oath. So when you read the word, that's why it's best. So I tell people it's best to start at the beginning. You cannot say you're reading the Bible and yet you don't start at the very beginning to really grasp the understanding of what is really going on in the Bible. You got to start from Genesis 1 and go up. Don't start saying the Old Testament is old days. It doesn't relate to right now. It still relates to right now. Okay? And you will better understand the New Testament if you start with the Old Testament. And continue on, share it, practice evangelism by sharing this post so other people could hear it, people could know and build their relationship with God. But at the end of the day, we have to worship. We got to take time to praise God. If you cannot read, this is perfect because you could just hear the word. You could still apply it into your life. Okay? Peace. May God be with you.